Welcome back to Buried, an interactive story. Guys, this is bethfaceplays, and today we're going to choose. So Roger and Dennis are trying to decide whether or not they should leave, or whether they should check out where that sound is coming from. So, no, let's check out that sound. We're agreed. Let's get away from here. I am going to choose. Let's check out that sound. Because I like to live on the edge. Something's not right, I say, and if there's mechanical noise like that. You think someone is out here? He asks. Maybe. I think we should at least check it out. They might be able to help. Yeah, you go right ahead, he said with a grin. I'll be here waiting for you. Better hurry, though. Dennis doesn't look like he's in the best shape to be trouncing around the forest, but we need some answers right away, too. I'm gonna... part of me wants to bring Dennis with me, but part of me wants to, leave him there. You go right ahead. I'll be here waiting for you. I'm gonna bring Dennis with me. Sorry, sound. No, you're coming with me. I bend over and hoist him up against my shoulder. He resists just barely and then gives in. Oh, so I'm carrying him? He's looking at me like he's terrified of me now, making a moan in his throat. We start moving through the woods quickly with no idea where the rest of the crew is. I worry they could be in danger. Every tree out here looks exactly the same. I grew up in the country and can find my way around the forest without much of a problem, but I'm feeling dizzy. I'm leaning against a tree when I see something that has no business being out here. Our logging crew has been out here for 3 weeks, and I've never seen it before. Ooh, what is it? It's a door. It's aliens. That's what the holes are. It's aliens. It's a small building, sort of like a mixture of shack and bunker. It looks to be made of concrete, but moss, weeds, and plain old erosion also make it look sort of mystical. It looks like something out of a demented version of a medieval fantasy movie. First thing I thought of was Bilbo when I saw this. What the hell is this? Dennis asks. I have no idea. Some old power said no, I have no idea. You purchased this land, right, boss? Dennis asks. Didn't you survey it? I certainly did, I say, getting a little defensive, but this wasn't here. Do you think the others maybe went in here? He asks nervously. Why would they do that, I ask. I don't know, but they aren't out here. If they aren't inside, they're probably dead, like Tony. He looks at the ground as he says this. I want to go inside, not just to find my crew, but also to appease my curiosity. That ringing noise is coming from inside. But something about this place seems incredibly strange, especially located all by itself out here. It simply does not belong. I wonder, do we knock or just go in? Dennis asks. I can tell that he is trying to make a joke, but it falls flat. I'm starting to think his humor is a defense mechanism for his fear. We both look ahead, take a moment to realize what we are about to do, and start forward. We get no more than 3 feet closer when Dennis wobbles. You okay, or reach out and steady him? I'm going to reach out and steady him. I reach out quickly, straining my injured knee. I barely make it in time, grabbing him under his arms and keeping him from hitting the ground. I'm okay, he said. Just, can you help me walk for a little while? Just help me inside, please. I can't deny him his request. I've never seen him this week, and it's a little uncomfortable to see. It makes me glad I decided to keep him with me. I help Dennis into the weird little building. The front door opens easily, even though there's clearly a lock on it. So I'm glad that I kept him with me. Okay. Maybe the lock was supposed to keep someone in. It's hard to tell. I still hear that ringing noise. It's definitely coming from in here. Stretching out in front of me is a small interior to match the outside. The building is totally empty. There's a concrete floor and dingy, featureless walls. There are no windows, giving the place an even more isolated feel. Still, we hear the ringing noise coming from somewhere in here. It's louder now, more prominent. The interior seems confined at first, but a small set of concrete steps leads about 5 feet down, revealing a corridor. Ooh! Whoa. It's not a little corridor either, dude. It's A massive corridor, in fact. Like I'm in some kind of building underground. It seems to go on forever. This corridor is mostly dark with emergency lights every 10 feet or so. I assume we're now underground because this corridor extends far beyond the walls of the building we entered. I realize that someone might not appreciate finding us here. I'm in pain, so I can't really walk quickly. So we're gonna tiptoe quietly. I feel like a ghost, like I truly have no business being here, except it's your property, so. Dennis leans on me for support. We move slowly, our feet not making a sound. If anyone is in here, I want to make sure they don't hear us. We tiptoe forward as softly as we can. As I carry Dennis to the far end of this otherwise featureless place, I see a flight of concrete stairs leading down. I have to set Dennis down on the floor. His weight is killing me. Dennis, are you okay? Stop worrying, man, he says. I'll be okay. I just need a minute to rest. But looking at him, I'm not so sure. I can still hear the ringing noise every so often, coming from somewhere in here. I look ahead at the concrete stairs, pointing towards them so that Dennis sees them. Can you make it down those stairs, I ask? He stands up slowly and is visibly making an effort to not fall back down. Yeah, he says, and sounds a little irritated. He starts for the stairs without me, and I have no choice but to follow. We approach the stairs, and just by looking at them, I get the sense that we're crossing some sort of line here. There may very well be no going back. I thought we were going downstairs, not up. As I head down the stairs, I notice that they look aged. That damned ringing noise is somewhere below, louder than ever. I feel like I'm walking down into the cellar of a haunted house, the light becoming scarce as the stairs take a slight turn. I can feel the temperature drop. Dennis makes it a few steps down before he is leaning on the wall. He's breathing like he just finished a marathon. We're going to pause to give him a break. Let's take a break, I say, putting my hand towards his shoulder to help steady him. Dennis lets out a sigh. Thanks, I don't feel too great, boss. As we both squat down on the stair, my mind seems to lock in on the unknown fate of the rest of my crew. Frank is married, and I've met his wife a few times, a nice woman with a huge laugh. My heart sags a bit when I realize I might never again get to hear him belting out classic rock tunes during lunch break. Joe, well, I don't know too much about him. He's 22 years old and is considering community college. His folks are deadbeats, so he has been providing for himself since the age of 16 or so. Maybe I can still find them and still get to hear Frank singing in his deep baritone voice after a few too many drinks. After a few moments, Dennis says, "All right, let's keep going." We both stand up, leaning on each other. I have to make Dennis stay behind me as I stick my foot out in search of the next step. I can't help feeling like a child as a very powerful fear seizes me. I'm expecting a monster to reach out of the darkness, slicing into my throat. After what feels like forever, we come to the bottom of the stairs. We're closer to that ringing noise now. A door sits securely in the wall and looks just as out of place down here as I feel. A sliver of light seeps through, illuminating the area. The door has what looks like a panel with lots of labels and lights. Small embossed print above the panel says Level 1, Entrance Gate, Transport Sector, and there's a button with no label. Push the button or inspect the panel. I'm going to inspect the panel. And then push the button. The panel looks like a diagnostic or alert system of some kind, each label meant to communicate some status. Lockdown engaged, experiment in progress, shutdown engaged. Those all appear to be off, but one of the phrases has a slowly blinking red light next to it, the only powered light on in this whole building. Abnormal entity breach. What the hell? I slowly push the door open when Dennis suddenly steps in front of me, taking the lead. Let's go, he says. I want to find out what the hell this place is. As Dennis walks through, that ringing or beeping or whatever is getting a little louder. The door closes behind us with a click. I can't help but notice the wobble in Dennis's step as he lets out a grunt. You sure you're healthy enough to keep going, I ask? It doesn't matter. I don't want to be in the woods right now. He seems scared, something I've never seen before. Angry, yes. Upset, yes. But Dennis is never scared. I don't know what it was, boss. It was like someone had left a radio on crackling, but we don't have any radios at the site. It was, I don't know. It was like something in the forest was moving. I gave him a doubtful look, and he cast his eyes to the ground, frustrated. I know how it sounds, he says, but I know what I felt. It was like walking into a funeral parlor, feeling death and gloom everywhere. I've been so preoccupied with my own fear that I nearly forgot about the ringing noise. It had just become background noise. We take a few more steps, and I can now see where we are. It makes no sense. Yet another thing that simply seems out of place. The shapes and muted colors of metal are easy to identify, but it just doesn't belong here. End of chapter 1. So that's chapter 1. We're going to move on to chapter 2 in the next episode. And I'm probably actually, from now on, going to just do an entire chapter in a thing, so there's not a million episodes of this. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.